Hi, so I'm back. I decided to do another video today. So another story of the domestic violence experience that I had with my ex-husband. I told you I experienced it in two separate relationships, but this one is with my ex-husband. I'll do my ex-husband's first, and then I'll do the other one later. So this particular time, this is a time where I almost completely lost it. I almost lost me, mentally wise. I was almost gone. So two incidents happened. I'm not sure if they happened within the same weekend or what, or if it's back to back or something like that. So one incident was where he was wrestling me, acting like he was play fighting, getting the play fighting thing, acting like he was play fighting with me, right? We were on the side of the bed, and you know how you hang off the bed, the side of the bed with your knees on the floor or whatever. So he had put his whole body weight on top of me and had put a pillow over me or something like that, and I couldn't breathe. So remember, we started out we were playing, but no, it had got he was trying to hurt me. And I think that the stories I'm about to tell is two separate incidents, because this was earlier on in the beginning. So this incident that happened, so he was on top of me and just wouldn't get off of me, and I kept telling him listen, I can't breathe, hoping that he would get off of me, because we were supposedly playing around, you play wrestle with your significant other. This is why I don't play fight. But yeah, he was on top of me, and next thing you know, what is your natural instinct to do when you feel okay, now someone is attacking me and I can't breathe, and it's either I'm gonna fight back or I'm gonna die. That's what it was. Either I'm gonna fight back or I'm gonna die. And then next thing you know, I just got this strength mustered up inside of me, and I just pushed him off of me. And I guess he seen how strong I was fighting, and he finally got up off of me, and I just turned around and started fighting back. I was yo, I can't breathe. I told you I couldn't breathe, this, that, and the third, or whatever. Right? That was one thing. He acted like he was playing. No, he was very serious. And then the other thing was that he now this particular day, it was me, him, and this weekend he had his daughter. I told you he did stuff in front of his daughter, right? So we had went to the grocery store that was across the street from our house, from where we lived at, and it was a hot summer day, so everybody was driving down the block with their music blasting, windows down, whatever. Him and his daughter was walking ahead of me, right, and they had crossed the street. Now remember, I told you I used to walk with my head down like this, right? So I really couldn't see. So he left me and went across the street. Now I have to cross the street. How am I going to cross the street with my head down? You want me to get hit by a car? That's probably what he was hoping. He wanted me to get hit by a car. But I lifted up my head briefly so that I can cross the street. And at the time that I lifted up my head, a car had went by. I don't know if it had guys in it, whatever, but it had music blasting boom, 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 whatever. And they had passed me already, but I had to get across the street. So I lifted up my head briefly so I could cross the street. And when I got across the street, he was like, oh, you was looking in that car? You was looking in that car? Wait till we get upstairs, right? It was always oh yeah, I got a bleep whooping coming your way. Wait till we get in the house, right? So I'm oh my God, here we go again. This is why I say, let me tell y'all something. This is why I say, when you are in a relationship, when you're married, whatever, you should never, ever, ever feel like, oh my God, I don't want to go home. Let me tell you something. I love coming to my house. My house is my sanctuary. Okay, if you are with somebody and you feel like, oh my God, I don't want to go home, it's time for you to get out of that relationship. Because I hated going home. I hated being in a house. I didn't know what was going to happen to me. Okay, so we went back in the house from the supermarket. Me, him, and his daughter. And he was like, oh yeah, that's what you was doing. And when I tell you that, like, I don't know if you call it, I don't know what you the correct term for it, but like, I guess I would be traumatized from it. That I can still feel from where he hit me that day, like to this day, even though it happened over how old am I now, 40, like 18 years ago. I can still feel to this day where he hit me at, and feel the, not so much the pain, but like the markings from it, like the experience from it, or I don't know the correct terminology, but I can feel like where his fist connected to me that day. So he took me upstairs, and we were in the bedroom again, and somehow I ended up on the floor in front of the closet, laying on my back, and his daughter sat there and watched the whole thing. And at the time, she had to be like 2 or 3 or something like that, and he straddled me. He straddled me with his back facing my front. And so we both were facing the same way. So he was facing this way, and I was here. And I was laying on the floor, right? I was here laying on the floor, and he was facing this way. And God bless you. And you're welcome. And he straddled me. And then he went to punching me in my right leg right above the knee. Like I tell you, I can still feel like the indentation to this day, like from what happened. Like I don't feel the pain. I just feel like where it happened at. I don't know if that makes sense to anyone, but I can feel he just punching me, and like harder and faster and harder and faster and harder and faster and harder and faster. Like I'm not even exaggerating. I wish I was exaggerating. Like in this one, my family can attest to this, because I had actually, I think I ended up leaving or something like that. And it wasn't right away, but like my leg was still bruised, and I showed where my leg was bruised at. Oh, excuse me. I forgot that happened. Yeah, I ended up showing him because I had left. And he just, I don't know, like why he did that. Like he just punched me so much and punched me so hard and punched me and just kept punching me in that same spot in my leg right above my knee. And I guess because, you know what some abusers say, you don't hit above the neck, because if you hit above the neck, it'll show, and their behinds will be in jail. So I guess that's why he did what he did. And yeah, he did that, and it had got, I don't know if like this was around the same time, but it had got so bad, you know, that, like I said, I had started losing my mind, like literally. Like I have a family member that, like something happened to them, and they would, like be walking the streets and talking to themselves or whatever. I don't know if it had like to do with a relationship or whatever, but that's where I felt that I was headed. Like I remember just going in the closet, because it was like the closet with the sliding doors, and I remember just backing all the way up in the closet, and he had to come get me out the closet, because I was like, oh my God, I don't know who I am anymore. Like I was just crying. I don't even know if I was crying. I just kept saying, I don't know who I am. I don't know what to do. I'm not good for anything. Like, I don't know what to do. I don't know where to go. I don't know who to be. Like, this is what I was just saying. I remember this day. Like, I almost was, like, something almost in my brain almost clicked off, and I was almost gone. Okay? But thank God. Thank God for his mercy, because yeah, I was almost there. Like, even to this day, like, certain things will happen. Like, I can't play with certain situations or like certain people. Like, I recently I had to tell someone that wanted to play around with me, a male, and I had to tell him, like, listen, I don't fight men. I will cut you. And I meant it, because of what I had experienced. So yeah, I don't think I said cut. I think I said something worse. But yeah, I almost, like, sometimes certain things, like when people play around with me, I can't play those hidden games or anything like that, because it'll take me to that place and I'll turn into protect myself defense mode. So yeah, yeah, that's another one of the incidents that happened, and how I was almost gone mentally, like completely. Like, I don't know, like maybe it something would have triggered in my brain, and I don't know. That's why I always say, like, yo, it's not worth staying there, because thank you. It's not worth staying, because one of two things will happen. And this is the God honest truth. Either you'll end up dead and your family will have to bury you. That's if you stay. You'll end up dead. Or they're going to end up dead, because you're going to get that fight back mentality. And that's what I had started doing. I had started fighting back. You get that fight back mentality, and you're going to fight back so that you'll survive. So that you'll be the one to survive. So it's not worth staying. You don't want to be in jail for nonsense, and you don't want to be in a grave for nonsense. So it's best to just, you know, think with your mind and not with your heart. I had to learn that. Like, okay, reevaluate some things. Like, all right, if I do this, this is going to be the outcome. Okay? So, yeah, that was just another story. And like I said, all this stuff took place in front of his daughter. Like, I feel bad, because I don't know where she's at today. But, you know, you reap what you sow, and then that behavior is learned behavior. So I pray that she isn't in a relationship like that, but she could easily have been the abuser in a relationship, or she can be the abused, especially if she thinks that that's what a man is supposed to do. Okay, like, I'll never forget the day that his daughter told me, like, this was some years later, where she was like, I think she was like 4 or something, and I wouldn't give her the Halloween candy that she had off of the top of the refrigerator, and her father wasn't there. And I told her, like, you know, you have to eat. You can't have the candy right now. And she told me with a straight face, she said, if you don't give it to me, I'm going to tell my father, and he's going to hit you. I cannot make this stuff up. The things that happen, I know it sounds, I cannot make this stuff up. This little girl that's 4 years old, 4 or 5 of her, I think she was like 4 or 5 at the time, she said to me, if you don't give me the candy, I'm going to tell my father, and my father is going to hit you. Yeah. So if you have children and you're in a relationship like that, yeah, it's not a good environment for them. Like I said, it's learned behavior, and they know exactly what's going on. Okay, so I think that's all I'm going to do for tonight. And I'll be back with another story, because I got plenty of them. All right, love you. Bye.